Welcome to the end of the carrot of Rocket Rabbit Commentaries playthrough of Beowulf the game, while he sallies forth in return to Herod to celebrate the glory of killing one of the gods themselves. He and his band of merry men have one last score to settle before all the monsters of the land, whether they were sired by his hand or by the hand of Hrothgar, shall be destroyed, and peace will return to the land.
May his legend live on forever.
Quick question: We were after and fighting Braca before we went into hell. Why did we go into hell?
Today is yours, my husband.
Good question. I don't remember that part of the movie.
And we can have some peace at last.
You are not the man I had hoped you'd become, my kinsman. But then, you are the monster slayer.
Please, Wiglaf, speak up a little bit. I couldn't hear you.
Soon you will need the courage to kill the sun, as I could not. What song would you have them sing of? Beowulf.
Hopefully rise against the savior.
Legacy, my husband. The time has come to choose what kind of man you would be remembered as.
Now grab your Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Do you redeem them for the angel stuffy doll or the rubber devil?
Rubber Devil, totally. The Rubber Devil is way more fun to play with.
Then now is the time to prove it to yourself.
Oh, I'd love to prove something to you, baby. Are you prepared to face your destiny? Select your equipages.
Hey, you
destiny.
did not show. No. That's the base mall, right?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Now we're going to experience a bit of a time jump here. Yes, Beowulf, like Hrothgar, his predecessor, also lived to be an old man. He had flashbacks.
Sins of the fathers.
He had headers at the top of his vision that told him which act of his life he was in. The screen is shaking. An earthquake.
Why isn't there sounds playing for this? Wow, that is an ugly-looking dragon model.
Yeah, they really...
It's not even a dragon. No, it's definitely a wyvern. Yeah.
Dragon, wyvern, breathes fire, flies around, terrorizes people. We got a thing. We gotta kill it.
The horn is back.
And the game is calling it a dragon.
On dragon's wings, breathing fiery destruction on all that you have built and come to love.
And so, it comes back to you after all these years.
Ah, the horn. I was looking everywhere for it, and I checked all my trousers.
Just hole up with one of those nice young girls of yours, and let some young hero save us.
Because then they'll do the same thing that I did.
This horror upon my kingdom. I must be the one to finish her.
Is she so beautiful, Beowulf?
Uh,
So costly.
so no music. There's disjointedness between the character lines and the mouth movements. Just I'm not sold on how compelling this scene is.
God keep you, my love.
Foreigner, ordain my lord Beowulf. This is your home now. You are our true king, and no Dane shall ever forget it.
Yes, farewell, my kingsmen, my loyal subjects.
Sins of the fathers, no one can save us, or you now, mighty Beowulf.
And now we see that the man who was representing all that is evil and all that is selfish, what's his name, had turned to God and became something of a saint. See y'all in the legendary playthrough. Bye-bye.
We're not doing the legendary playthrough, right?
We're not doing the legendary playthrough, no. I had a hard enough time just finishing this game on the base difficulty. I am not about that life. There'll certainly be glory. However, the glory may well be left to better men. And in this episode, the 15th episode, The Golden Dragon, we are going to attain glory that is appropriate and apportioned to our fate, our decisions, our lives.
Now, this is a wild departure from the movie because, if I recall correctly, the final act of the movie is us versus the Golden Dragon, but is Beowulf versus the Golden Dragon. But specifically, the Golden Dragon lays siege to Beowulf's castle, and he ends up doing a bunch of CG riding around on the dragon, doing a Dragon's Dogma stuff.
Precisely. However, these are assets that are not included on the Beowulf the Game Xbox 360 game disc. Oh, thank God, I actually found the slope this time.
Wading through the river frozen.
Yeah. You got my back. Yeah. Your Thanes are going to also not be part of your party or the game very shortly.
Yeah, because we're gonna have the same overall problems that we had with the Grendel fight, where if we actually had Thanes, we could actually sacrifice them to for strategic reasons and such. But
Nay, there is nothing I must know. You are Beowulf.
See, Wiglaf, if you talk this loud in the first place, you wouldn't have this weird disconnect between when your dialogues are in full capitals and when you're actually speaking loudly.
Do you want me to go further, my king?
So, do you want me to go any further?
I'll stay here.
If you know what I mean. Yeah, very, very funny, jackasses. The human being playing this game is really not into the humor you're trying to sell me on. Mostly interested on just getting on with it at this point.
okay, and then down the slope.
We're really sliding to the finish line. This game of baseball will soon come to an end.
Hey,
guys,
Beowulf
I'm over here.
Is not a lecher.
Yeah.
It's very clearly overcast. It's not hailing yet.
Alright, bye-bye, Thanes.
Beowulf, king of the Danes, and you can keep your damned horn.
Actually, wait, is there a battle here? Oh, good lord.
Yeah, we have to deal with the specters of our failures.
Nothing can make up for what you've done to me.
You really should have subtitles there, young man. And there's the dragon. We have completed the 15th episode of the game by running down a few slopes and listening to story time.
You said
Well
we weren't
done.
gonna ride the dragon.
I mean, eventually Beowulf does take a little trip. Take a little trip. Take a little trip with me.
Take a little trip with me. Alright, here we go. Kill the dragon
Kill
on
the
the same
dragon.
platform where we had to
Kill
fight
the
the
dragon.
Krakens.
Kill the dragon. It's a little misleading, if I do say so myself, that you started one episode with Thanes and did absolutely nothing with them. This is something that Beowulf must handle on his own. He sired in this monster, and now must put it back to where he came from. His balls.
Okay, so alright, so we do have access to carnal explosion spots.
Carnal explosions. Ain't that the truth, baby? Stomp.
Ouch.
No, you're supposed to dodge when he stomps. Remember? Amygdala. Bloodborne. Stompy stompy. Dodgy dodgy.
Now you gotta go pick up another sword.
Now observe that we have taken out at least some of Junior's health bar here. As long as you're attacking any part of his body, those hits are valid, whether they're done with your fists or with weapons.
Past Cloud, don't do this to us.
Well, what is Past Cloud doing that he shouldn't
He's
be doing?
attempting to fight the dragon with his fists.
I
Explore the
need no
combat
weapons
arena.
to kill
There's
you.
got to be weapon spawns some goddamn where.
You really keep your eyes open for those weapon spawns, wherever they are. Come on, this is a battlefield. We've been in maps. We've been in environs. There are always weapons in just little bone piles conveniently located for us to access. Wait, is he? No, I thought he was staggered for a second. Kinda
No,
hard
we're
to
fighting
see.
him with our bare fists. We're not going to stagger him this way. Unless you actually, use your carnal grab in order to climb on top of him, and there's this part of you that specifically is still trying to go for full hero ending.
Yeah. I mean, for goodness sake, I mean, they forced me to take it on the chin. I mean, maybe there was a heroic way to actually defeat Hell during the last part. However, we've come to a crossroads. Oh, wait, no, weapon pile. Weapon pile. Get the weapon. Get the thing. Increase your attack power.
Okay, so
Nice.
So it's very faint, but they are illuminated. And yeah, there's one over there. There's carnal explosion
there.
spots.
There's one over there. Carnal explosion spots. I love it. I mean, they're definitely forcing the issue, like, hey, you could still use Carnal Fury in order to finish this. Doesn't it seem appropriate?
I mean, it definitely does, but baiting him over there and actually holding Carnal Fury enough to get a sizable explosion might be a bit of an ask.
This is one of those bosses that really begs the question, do I approach him or do I let him approach me?
You let him approach
case,
you specifically. I mean, you can chase after him, but like he moves faster than you do, so...
He has wings, for goodness sake. Good use of consistency that generally people on the ground move slower than the beasts of the air. Yeah, take that. And this.
Okay,
Oh,
he's
gonna
about
stop?
a quarter down so far.
Great use of dodging. Very nice. We have turned his health bar a slightly more yellowish green. We are winning this, kind of.
Oh yeah, we're winning. I mean, very specifically, all we have to do is time our dodge of the stomps even remotely accurately, and we can actually fight this fight effectively indefinitely.
And take note also that Beowulf cannot dodge while he's in the middle of a weapon swing, so definitely time your attacks wisely.
There we go.
Now he's using his
no,
jowls.
that was defensive. Oh man.
It was defensive, yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he bit down into us like we had planned that. No way.
Like,
okay,
I
I'm
understand,
over here now.
Like, I understand if you failed that, you probably would have just instantly lost because it's probably a one-bite kill. But at the same point, like, that is definitely something that given the length of this fight, should have been an opportunity for us to close his mouth and then climb on top of his head in order to do some heroic damage to the head itself.
Well, we haven't tried grabbing him by the talons. We did successfully dodge his seismic wave attack. He drops a wave of concussive energy every time he slams down with his full body weight. Okay, now dodge. Very good. Choose your attacks wisely.
And there.
Very nice. Very nice. Good lord, is it possible that the combat designers actually timed these attacks and your ability to dodge around what you're capable of doing?
That's likely what it's supposed to feel like, at least. But then again, this spear actually has relatively slow, heavy attacks. So.
Right, and with slow, heavy attacks, I observe that you only realistically have one opportunity to attack before you must dodge or take damage, because you have to get right up next to him in order to deal damage to him, but that's also how he attacks you, is by stomping.
So honestly, you probably should be specifically just doing your two-hit light combo with your weapons.
With light weapons, right, but we do not have... Well, okay, we do have a light weapon available, but we are not about to switch to fisticuffs. So I think we're...
that's the thing. Like, we've only actually looked at one weapon pile, and we got a spear out of it. More than likely, the longsword is available for this fight.
And I see that he tried chomping down only directly forward. This guy has a bit of an octagonal orientation about him, that he can only be pointed his entire body in one of 8 directions. very tanky.
He's not that
Very
tanky, to
janky.
be perfectly honest. We're already
Yeah,
two-thirds
he's
of the way through.
pretty tanky, bro. Okay, now look this way. Oh, he's gonna chomp. Yep, and
Okay.
I don't know how I suddenly got over there, but he got me. Okay, now try attacking him, and watch out for the seismic wave. Okay, let him come to you. Now try attacking him in order to get some health back. I am Beowulf. Yeah. Attack. I'm actually amazed I haven't broken the spear yet.
You did break the spear, you just haven't switched it out yet.
No. Weapons that break will disintegrate entirely. There's the breaking status and there's the broken status. Okay, oh, he didn't get me that time. Not with the chomp attack. Because I noticed that hitbox is pretty deceptively wide.
Yeah, but it's not an actual threat for the most part. As long as you're underneath him, he's not gonna hit you with the chomp.
Now, at this point, players may be wondering, does this boss have, like, any other attacks than just
no,
the
it is
5
not.
he's been using?
Like, very specifically, our game plan is, in fact, to just attack his toenails until he falls over.
Pretty much, yes. I'm no podiatrist, but you could really use some work.
And
Okay, now he's gonna rage forward, dodge, and attack him in the legs. The only part of his body we can actually reach, kind of.
supposedly, one of your heavier spear attacks can actually hit him in the chest, but like,
Oh, careful now. Wouldn't want to die being this close to the end. And with that successful dodge, we had gotten second win and a massive amount of our health bar back. I do like this ending theme boss music too. It is actually one of the more appropriate music tracks that we got during this game. Versus the
15%
music
left.
versus the music track we get to enjoy during the credits. Oh, darn it. That's after dodging. He fled before we could connect the strike. He moves forward. He comes forth. And stab him again. Oh, alright, that's it. He's staggered. He's down. Now, let us finish this. Between father and son.
Ride the tail.
And that part of the boss fight is now over.
Fear is something for other men, Dragon. Again, he's actually a wyvern, but
Yes, and I really hope I don't muck it up this time. This part only took me one try.
because this is effectively just a quick time sequence, right?
It's just a quick time sequence, yeah. There are no more health bars. All you have to do is just do the God of War finish. Now tear open his freaking heart. After he takes it. Oh, right. I do the wolf thing. Yep. Beowulf is chopping off his own arm in order to stop the dragon.
Okay, there's absolutely no way that his scales are loose enough to allow us to do that.
He is Beowulf.
And death has arrived to sweep us both away.
Very squishy. And yes, now hold perfectly still.
So yeah, this very specifically is a reverse of the dragon's dogma opening.
Dragonheart.
Dragonheart. This is not as good as Dragonheart is, okay?
That was how the movie ended, though. Is Beowulf ripped open the throat of the dragon, reached his hand in, and wrenched out his heart in order to cause him to fall to the ground. My boy.
Bye, Lilith Spawn.
Too old to be heroes. Let's get you to a healer.
Not this time, old friend.
You're Beowulf.
He should have lost consciousness by now.
I'm done. Do you hear her?
I hear nothing.
The sun. It's Grendel's mother. My son's mother,
Oh, Lord. Don't say such things. You killed Grandma's mother.
When we were young.
Saga.
It's too late for lies. Wiglaf. Too late.
Dun 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 dun.
Your sacrifice will never be forgotten.
So, Lilith tempts Wiglaf here, right? Because I remember that being a major point for the end of the movie, that Lilith shows back up and says, "Hey, I'm still here."
Yeah, they do the. I mean, you can tell that this is a story that has been recreated by the modern folklore reader. Is that they're doing the Heart of Darkness thing. Just because Beowulf settled with his personal demon does not mean that the horror is over. It's become cyclical, and it's going to spread to the other people whom he had loved.
That's a lot of gold to be sent on a pirate ship.
Because they believe that when a man dies, he's allowed to take his riches with him. Like the pharaohs of Egypt, so too the Danes of Denmark are able to spend their money on women, booze, food and drink, and of course,
Norwegian
shots
cheeses.
for everyone. Cheeses, yes, very cheesy. When beer. But now we must say farewell to our hero Beowulf, for they will rain down fire and sink the boat of his glory into the sea, where he is returned to the bosom of all nature itself, and at last his soul shall
So
be at
do we
peace.
actually have a whaling enterprise at this point?
There is definitely like chanting chorus during this.
Shepherd of our land. He gave his life.
And so Wiglaf, his soft-spoken second-in-command, has become the new king of the Danes.
Your legacy will never die.
Please
Also, your
ignore
boat
the
didn't
shimmer
make it that far
graphics.
out to sea.
And apparently the game is having trouble quelling that.
Figuring out what the lighting system is.
What is light? What is texture? What is a man? But an image illuminated by video
Hero
game graphics.
King.
And we have been named the Hero King. One of two endings that you can achieve in Beowulf the game. And here Rocket Rabbit Commentaries brings you, after achieving a total of 1,000 kills between the hero ourself and our Thanes, that we have, after 5 hours and 49 minutes of gameplay, get to listen to this ridiculous drinking song.
So now we have a reprisal of the she shanty that we sung at the very beginning of the game.
Sea shanty. It's a drinking song. There's the two are different genres.
Ah. Gills, you
In
did
the
not
key
do
of
a good
A
job
flat.
of level design, okay? Look, from the very little that we actually saw of this game, I will say that this does not look like it's even all that successful of a God of War rip, and it's trying very, very hard to be a God of War rip in the style of the Beowulf the movie. And while it follows the plot line, some of the plot line of Beowulf the movie, and probably some of the expanded lore stuff in the original poem relatively nicely, this does not look like it was a good time to go through. And
It wasn't.
Why did we go to hell? Why? Like,
Wait, what do you mean go to? You can't go to a place you're already in.
yeah. I will say that the collectibles in this game would honestly probably keep me playing it for much longer than I enjoyed it, because I've actually had a couple of games like that. Specifically, there was a flight sim game with dragons that I actually relatively enjoyed that was not good, that I was trying to get collectibles in for the longest time. But like this, I personally think that I would not even go for all the collectibles in this. And Cloud didn't even show off all but like one of the collectibles. He got one of the legendary shields, and that was it, man.
It is true, yes, that there are weapons among a variety of collectibles that you can get. The shadow weapons largely had missed this playthrough. I don't think I got any of them. There were runes, both the heroic and carnal runes, that were scattered throughout the map that you could plunge deep and locate with your brains and with your tenacity, especially considering that in order to secure your booty, you have to finish each of the levels and make it to a safe checkpoint. And that's not even taking into account when you can redeem said collectibles.
Cloud, I'm noticing that all the testers in this were Chinese persons.
Yeah.
Was this actually made by a Chinese studio?
Well, I mean, one of the developers of this game is called Shangri-La.
Yeah, but that's Hinduism. That's not, well... Yeah, that's Hinduism, not Buddhism.
Yeah, they're neighbors. I mean, I pretend to know what I'm talking about at this point at best, but they I would say that pretty much all video games, except for like self-starters and independently driven games, like a lot of the games that you see in North America, will comprise its development team of people from a wide variety of backgrounds, ages, and experiences.
Ooh, Anthony Hopkins!
No freaking way they got Anthony Hopkins. You have to be kidding me now.
Well, no, Anthony Hopkins was in the movie, so it makes sense that
he
he's
was
here.
in the movie. But they did not take his lines from the movie, though. That means that they actually brought Anthony freaking Hopkins into the studio. And they should have put that on the box itself. Brought to you by Academy Award-winning actor Anthony Hopkins.
He plays Herod, right?
He plays Hrothgar.
Oh, Hrothgar. Okay.
Yeah. See, I'm glad that now both of our commentators are confusing the names. Let me say on the subject also of like accurately and respectfully presenting a story as well known as Beowulf, that this game does not do the epic of Beowulf justice. Maybe like in the early portions, but then as the game goes on and you realize its flaws, the graphical glitches, the desynchronization between speaking lines of dialogue and the people actually enunciating the lines, that this is in no way a good substitute for either reading the poem or hell, even watching the movie.
And the movie is not that good, okay? It's got a lot of good action pieces in it, mind you, but that's really all it's there for, to showcase the CGI and action pieces, and even those are not as good as they could have been.
I'm glad that the movie brought to light what Beowulf the Epic had lived up to, considering how modern audiences expect grandiose exhibits of, well, legends. And Beowulf is a legend. It deserves more than this. Honestly, I would even go so... No, that's right. They did... I think they did reboot Beowulf relatively recently, and it's about damn time that they did.
So what streaming service is the new Beowulf on?
The cool ones, of course.
2007. Man, is the Beowulf movie really that fucking old?
It is that fucking old, my man.
Damn.
Well, we hope that you, the viewing audience, readers, and video watchers alike, have enjoyed our playthrough of Beowulf the game. We encourage you to make up your own opinion as to whether this game is worthy both of your time and of the legend of Beowulf himself. And thank you so much for watching Rocket Rabbit Commentaries.
Be safe, everybody.